My brother Joseph was inducted into the Army by requirement because he was 19 years of age, and he was sent to Fort Laramie in Wyoming for 6 weeks training. And he was only there 2 weeks when he got a notice that he was being sent overseas, and he objected, and they told him to shut up, you're a liar. You're going overseas whether you like it or not. And they sent him over to Fort Meade, Maryland. And he no sooner arrived at Fort Meade when they announced that he was being sent overseas. And he again objected and said, you haven't even trained me to shoot a gun and you're sending me overseas. And they said, you're a liar. Shut up, you bastard.
Hey.
You're going, whether you like it or not. And they sent him as the head of a company over to the Anzio beachhead in Italy, which was marked as one of the worst battles of World War II. And he was the head of a company, 189 men. And he got a notice, get your company down in the trenches, get your company down in the trenches, there's hand grenades coming in, he yelled. And said, get into the trenches, get into the trenches. Well, I'll add a little bit here, which is true, but I don't know if you ever want to repeat this. The soldier next to him was black, and he didn't get down the trenches. My brother jumped over and pushed him down, and he got the hand grenade. And then he was sent to the Anzio hospital. They operated, and he kept screaming and yelling. They couldn't do a thing with him, so they put him on a ship and send him back to Fort Meade in Maryland. He actually arrived at Hoboken in New Jersey. And when they got him there, they examined him and reoperated and found out that they had sewed a needle in his spine. And then they discharged him as to never ever walk again. When I got a call from Dr. Dixon in Kansas City, and he said, I want you to come over, I have something to tell you. And when I arrived there, he said, I want you to sit down because this will be a shock to you. And of course I'm concerned. I'm saying, what's the shock? And then he said, I took 6 months off of work here at the hospital, and I went to Washington, D.C., and I went through all the veterans' records. I went through all the records from Fort Warren. And he said, and I found out that there was another guy at Fort Warren in Wyoming with the same name as Joe, but he had a T on the end of his name. My brother was Joseph Henry Schmid, S-C-H-M-I-D, and the other guy was Joseph Henry Schmidt, S-C-H-M-I-D-T. And he found out that one night when Joe was sleeping, he went in and exchanged dog tags because he was scheduled to go overseas. And Joe went to war under the other guy's name, and the other guy got all the benefits that Joe was supposed to receive. And I don't know whatever happened to that soldier, but then he went to President Roosevelt, and Roosevelt awarded my brother Purple Heart.